Alright, good morning everybody. It's Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. We are in the truck. We just finished pre-tripping the truck, got our paperwork started. We're gonna roll. Not a fan of today's schedule. One Tamaqua to Hazelton, and then a few Hazelton to Hazeltons, and then I gotta finish it off with a run from the well in the woods all the way down to Lansdale. So it's gonna be a long day, and that follows a long day yesterday where I did not get back in time for my night shift partner. She had to wait on me, and it may end up being that way today. We're going to leave an hour early so that we don't run into that problem again, but we'll see what happens. But 2 long days in a row, and it's going to put me down the Lansdale stop at a bad time. I had gotten it worked out where I could get down there around 1 o'clock and beat the traffic, but now I'm going to get down there somewhere between 3 and 5 today, so I'm going to be right in the thick of rush hour traffic again. And you know what happens when we get down there at that time. I showed you in a previous video. But anyway, we're going to roll here in a few minutes, and we'll talk to you along the way today as best we can. We are on the move, and once again I don't think my night shift partner closed that passenger door tight because we got a wind noise. So I'll have to check that when we get up to the well and start loading. I don't know why she does that, but she does that. A lot of mornings I got a lot of wind noise coming off that passenger side. I gotta fix it. But anyway, we're rolling. You can see it's an overcast day today. I don't know if the sun's gonna come out later. They did say it was gonna be overcast. Might even see some flurries. So I don't know. Hopefully not any kind of snow squally type stuff. I can handle flurries, I guess, at this point. But as long as we don't start whitening up the ground, it'll slow things down even more. But we're on the move. Said the truck is kind of noisy. I don't know if the microphone picks it up, but it sure is noisy right now with that wind blowing inside that passenger door. So I guess we'll just talk to you while we're up there loading. Well, the idea of coming up here and loading early and getting an earlier start kind of went out the window because I followed this guy right in here, and he's loading an 8, so it's going to take him a half hour to load his. And it'll take me 20 minutes to load mine, so we got pushed back a little bit. We'll still be a little bit earlier than if we started straight up at 9 o'clock, but not as early as I wanted to be. I would have got in here, loaded in 20 minutes, and been out, and would have been almost an hour ahead of the game. Now I'll probably be about a half hour ahead of the game, so I don't know. It's going to be an interesting day, I guess. All right, as we always say, we are loaded and rolling a little bit later than I had wanted to. I should have been loaded and out of here at 8:30, but it's almost 9 o'clock now. But I'm still probably about a half hour to 45 minutes ahead, I hope. But just the day is not starting out well. That's a manual operated well. And so we have to open and close with the valve, and that part worked okay, but then the meter still counts and accumulates gallons, and we usually zero it out afterwards for the next driver. Well, every now and again the button won't zero out, and then the next guy has to double up his numbers to know when he needs to shut the valve. So I messaged him, but you know, it's just not starting out well. And I knew today was going to be a downer video and not an upper video, so we're going to do the best we can, not be too negative, but it's just going to be one of those days. Well, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's always something. I don't know what they're doing here, but they've got a lane restriction digging up the street. There must have been maybe a water main break or something digging up. At least it's not in the middle of the street. It didn't tie up traffic too much. But there's some kind of problem there because the hole was full of water. So there must be some kind of leak. And we've had them in town that were really bad and had to shut down streets. But that one wasn't so bad. I really wasn't going to record coming through Tamaqua because I show you it so much. But little bit of an interest there, so I figured I would show that to you, and then may as well stay on for a while here. You see that they did some snow removal over the last week, and they got all these snow piles out of these parking spots, opened the street back up, and they've been working on it all week. Even side streets. Some towns just do the majors, but Tamaqua's doing all the side streets as well. They're in week number 2 of snow removal. They even did my street, and I'm just on a little narrow one-way street, and they went through there last Friday and cleaned up all the snow piles on our street. So somewhat back to normal if all this stuff on the ground is normal. But all right, I'll get a phone call. Talk to you later. All right, so we had to do some problem solving here this morning. We were drawing air. It was sealed. The connection wasn't seated properly, and so we had to tighten everything up by sticking those used seals in where the ears close. So solved the problem of sucking air along with the water. But because it's so cold outside, it took a long time for the thing to get started. I had to stand there for about 10 minutes holding the button while it was going through its testing phase, and it just didn't want to get started. And when I let go of the button, the pump would shut off, so then I had to start over again. And so I had to stand there and hold that button until it ramped up and started to actually unload after testing was completed. And well, now we're unloading, but I lost 15 minutes trying to get this thing started. So the day is not starting out too well. I'm going to hopefully be able to smile some today, and that this whole video isn't going to be negative, but it's just it's not starting out well, and the cold weather plays a big part in it. This job is so easy and so much fun when it's warm out, but this time of year it just creates all kind of problems with having to thaw stuff out and stuff freezing and not working properly, and it makes the day longer as it is. And so we're going to try to make the best of it, try to smile a little bit for you guys, and hopefully the day gets better instead of worse. So, all right, we'll talk to you later. It's darn cold out here. I'm going to go sit back in the truck. All right, so we're all emptied out and getting ready to get on 81 North here, 924, the Can-Do Expressway as it's called. And you get up on 81 here, take it one exit. Let's hope this arrow holds. We're going to take it while we got the chance here. It's yellow, I know, but we're able to get it. So we got to get on 81 North here, go one exit to 93, jump off, go over the freeway, and then go back road to get to our well. And it looks like a cop has somebody pulled over up here on the ramp, so we need to take her easy here and slide left as far as we can. What do we got? I don't know. I guess maybe he was speeding somewhere. But time to get a move on now. Not too much traffic coming. This is a better time of day than when I was up here last night. I had 2 reddings, and then I came up here, so I had hit the industrial park right at rush hour, so I was dealing with traffic on 3 of the 4 loads I had to do to the Hazleton plant. So, but there's another guy running this with me today, and so he's over there loading right now. He should be out of there before we get there because of how fast that place loads. So he should be gone, and where that'll help is, I guess this guy can't go over 65 miles an hour. I was doing 65 and he just wasn't getting going. Now he kind of cut in close on me. But the hose won't have a chance to freeze up because he's in there loading right now too, and it'll help both of us out by back-to-backing our loads for a while. The hose will stay kind of flexible because it won't have time to freeze before the next driver gets there. So, anyway, we're moving along, heading over to get the second load of the day. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna record for you because it's the same thing over and over again. We may not record till we start heading down for the load to Lansdale. Well, I thought I would have seen our other driver by now, unless I passed him out on the interstate. I hope he's not still up here. That would have meant he had to wait on some other drivers that were in here loading. I kind of half expected to see him coming out this road, but maybe he got loaded quick enough and he was out on the interstate at a spot where I didn't see him. But we're here, and I got to give credit to whoever plows this place, because you see the road is down to bare dirt. Nope, he's still here yet, I see. I wonder if there was another truck ahead of him. Looks like he might be buttoning it up right now. He's walking back to his truck, but yeah, he's still up here loading, or he's finished loading. Yeah, looks like he's gonna get in the truck, so I guess he's done, and we gotta let him spin around, and then we'll get on and attempt to load. Like I said, the hose won't have a chance to start freezing back up because he just finished using it. So we're gonna sneak right on here. This place is icy, just like everywhere else. Not as bad though, really. I don't know if it gets enough sun, but not as bad. Then we gotta push her back, get to the right spot. And we were in here last night, so I kind of got an idea where I need to be. Kill the grade gripper. Grade gripper doesn't help you when you're trying to back up onto a pad. I'm not a fan of the grade gripper as it is, because it just, I'd rather control the braking process. Let's see. That's about right. Alright, so we're loading here. We don't have much time to talk to you because this one loads super fast. By the time I do my paperwork and use the bathroom, because this one actually has a bathroom in it, none of the others do. A couple of them have porta-johns, but this one actually has a restroom in it. So by the time I do all that, I really don't have much time to do anything because it's ready to flow over. So it won't take long. I don't know if you can see it. It is snow flurrying a little up here. Hopefully it just stays like this and we don't start getting any kind of accumulation of anything, and it stays flurries and not showers. We'll be okay, but we will see. But all right, anyway, we're loading and we'll talk to you a little bit on the way back. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to film all of my trips back and forth up here, or wait till later and film doing the Lansdale. We'll see. All right, we're loaded and get ready to spin her around and get out of here. By the time we get over to the plant, that guy may be close to done. So we should, well, there's 2 unloading stations there, so we won't be in each other's way over there. It's just over here where I might have to wait on them, depending on timing, which is fine. Like I said, that gives a chance that hose won't freeze up between loads, and I'll have an easier time hooking it up. But I guess he didn't have a hard time hooking it up either. So it says it's 28 degrees. Truck reads a little bit warmer. It might be about 25 up here. It's slightly better than what it was last week when we didn't get out of the teens. So maybe we push toward 30 today. I don't know. If we'd get rid of these clouds and get some sunshine, we'd have a good shot at it. But if it's going to stay cloudy all day, we may hover around this 28 to 30 degree mark. And that's going to be the case the rest of the week until Saturday. And another Arctic blast comes down for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and possibly Tuesday yet. And they say it might be some of the coldest air we've had so far this season. Again, highs in the low teens and lows probably below zero this weekend, which is getting really old really quick because it's been this way almost since the beginning of December. The West has been warm for the last 2.5 months, and we've been frigid for the last 2.5 months. But there is hope. Supposedly next week, after the 8th, the week heading into Valentine's Day is supposed to moderate, and maybe we'll get into the 40s some of those days, and perhaps even 50, depending on how the air masses work, and that would be most welcome after what we've been enduring so far. So fingers crossed on that one. Hopefully it actually gets warmer than what their computer models are starting to hint at, so we will see. But all right, we are making our way back to the plant to deliver load number 2. All right, so we're here unloading the second one. We ran into the same problem with pulling air once we started the pump, so I got to shim up the ears on each of the loads to try and prevent that, because it does slow the process down. When you're sucking air along with water, it takes longer to unload the trailer, so we got to try to minimize or eliminate that if we can, because it's just going to make the day longer. So so far so good on this load. We are not sucking any air or pulling straight water through, so we should unload quicker this time than we did last time. So, but anyway, we're gonna go back in the cab where it's nice and warm and wait for this to finish up, and then go up and get load number 3. All right, so we had to wait on the other driver to load again, but we're loading now. He's gone, and the sun is trying to come out. And if we could just get this cloud deck to clear off and get some sunshine, we warm it up a little bit, because it's just kind of raw today. It was flurrying and actually almost bordering on a snow shower when I was coming in here, but it now stopped. But you can see there's a hint of sunshine, so it's trying, but I don't know if it's going to succeed or not. But anyway, loading up the third one here, and we'll catch him over there before he's done. But at least, like I said, over there, I don't have to wait for him. Once I back on, I can start my pump. 2 of us can unload at the same time over there. So it's working out so far pretty good. We're not holding each other up too much at all, really. Just come on, sun. Come on, clouds. Break up. Let that sun come out and warm our earth up a little bit. All right, so that is the trick to keeping it from pulling air, is to stick that hammer under there. It raises the hose up enough to take some of the pressure off of the fitting there, and so now we are pulling straight water through. And that makes a world of difference as to how fast it actually unloads, because if you're pulling 50% air and 50% water, it's just going to take 50% longer to unload it, because you're not pulling as much water volume out. So kind of solved that problem. That little kitty hammer that I bought, so to speak, which isn't, I don't know what its main purpose is, but it's a 10-ounce hammer. It's just on a short handle, but it's just the perfect height to elevate that hose to close off the seal at the fitting, and then you can unload properly. So we should be out of here in about 20 minutes and heading on down to get that Lansdale load. All right, well, we made it back down here to the other side of Tamako. We're heading out there to the well in the woods, and the race is on, so to speak. Not literally, but in a joking sense. But I talked to one of our drivers who was running our Reading customer, and he had just emptied out down there when I emptied out up in Hazleton. So we're going to see who gets to the well first. He said there was construction in Hamburg or somewhere in that area where they had it down to alternating traffic with flagmen, so he may have gotten held up down there in traffic. He may not have, so we're going to see who gets to the well first here. Chances are he will, because I think my mileage from Hazleton down was more than his. Excuse me. And I said that I would probably get down here to the well around 2:30. Well, We're probably about 5 to 7 minutes out, and it is 2:16 right now. So my time estimate wasn't too far off. So we'll have to see who got here first. The only thing is I don't have any cookies. Figure if he wins, I'd give him a cookie. I don't know what he'd give me if I win, but somebody gonna get here first. Is it gonna be me, or is it gonna be him? Well, we beat him, but not by much. I seen him coming down the road when I made my left turn to come into this one, and he is behind me. So I got him by probably about 45 seconds to a minute, and it really wasn't a race. I mean, it was more or less tongue-in-cheek what I was talking about, but I kind of figured he would have gotten here before me, because I talked to him when I was still up in Hazleton, right when I was getting on to 81 to go south. So, like I said, there was no competition. I didn't drive like a maniac to get down here and beat him to the well. It just kind of worked out that way. And he did tell me that there was that construction zone over there on 61 that might hold him up, and I guess it might have, or maybe it did. We'll find out, because I'll get in here, get hooked up, and then he'll come out and he'll talk to me. So what that means is I won't be able to talk to you while I'm loading, because he's going to be here. But I did beat him. Now let's see if anybody else is in here. Yeah, there is one truck in here, and I don't know if he's actually actively loading or if he's done. We will see. I'm hoping he's just about done and he didn't just get started. He's probably preloading for his night shift, because this is still the day shift guy, so he's probably preloading that truck for his night shift partner. So hopefully he's some more advanced in the process of loading that thing, and it won't take me long to get started. So but he's at the computer, so I have a feeling he just got started. So we're probably going to sit here for a good, oh boy, 2 trucks come in. Oh, did I get here just in time? This would have been a really late day if I would have got here 10 minutes later. Yikes. Even waiting on this guy doesn't sting so bad, knowing that there's 2 trucks coming in here behind me, and what I could have been stuck with. An hour to an hour and a half wait time just to get loaded to get down there. And you know I'm going to Lansdale, so I've got me a ride much longer than these guys have. This guy parked crooked, making me work for it a little bit. All right, so we had to wait. It took 40 minutes. It is 3 p.m. right now, so it took 40 minutes from arrival to departure. So it wasn't too bad, but like I said, if I would have had to get behind both those guys, it takes a half hour to load. So half of the other guy, because he was at 3, or it takes an 8 a half hour to load up. So the other guy was at about 3 or 4,000 gallons. So I had to wait for about 15 minutes for him to finish up, and then I was able to load. But it would have been an hour and 15 minutes of sitting and waiting if I would have gotten behind those 2 guys, which would have really put me in a bind for going down there. As it stands right now, it's 3 o'clock. I should get there between 4:15 and 4:30 roughly, as long as traffic moves, and that might put us in a window, and I had told you about that I think a little bit. There is a window between when that school dismisses and when Hatfield meets. Shift change happens, and there's a window where the traffic is just a little bit lighter, And so I might get in that window to where I won't have a huge problem backing in there. We will see. I might, it depends on how traffic is, but we'll hope for the best. Hopefully it's like the last time I got down there a little after 4, and we had a pretty easy time getting in. So hopefully it'll be the same way today, but we're rolling on out of there. Like I said, 3 p.m., about an hour and 15 minutes, hour, 20, 25 minutes to get down there, and see how we do when we get there. All right, just went past Presley's Pony Farm. We're north of Tillman Street yet. We made pretty good time coming down 309 and 100. We did not get behind any slow trucks, slow cars. We were able to move at a decent, reasonable speed, which is the speed limit. A lot of times you get behind somebody that just doesn't want to do the speed limit, but we were able to roll pretty good, making good time. It's 329. Once we get through these lights down here, we get on 22 and get to the turnpike, and then we have a clean roll, hopefully all the way down to Lansdale. So like I said, hopefully we get down there about 4:15. We got 45 minutes to get to my estimate that I'm hoping for. Gotta watch this one. It looks like it is red, actually. Yep, it is. This one can bite you in the backside, especially in the summer when you can't see through the trees. And you don't know what color it is until you get almost all the way down here. So you see traffic is picking up here a little bit. There's 3:30. Some of these warehouses down here in Fogelsville probably shift change at 3:30. So traffic, especially northbound, going to be picking up. A lot of people live up in the coal region and work down here in the warehouses and distribution centers. So northbound traffic usually starts getting heavy about this time. But like I said, so far we are doing pretty good. Yeah, see, look at the traffic here. How it gets. It's a little heavier than usual. I've not usually seen it backed up past where the two lanes merge into one like it is right now. Look at this. I wonder why it seems heavier than usual. But like I said, they're keeping on, and somebody broke the clip on our fire extinguisher over the weekend. Some weekend guys used this truck, and now you can't clip the fire extinguisher shut. So we got to get the mechanics to fix that. That's what was squeaking if it was being picked up by the microphone. But anyway, we're here at the Weiss Markets here just above Tillman Street, and we'll talk to you later on down there, probably when we get to the plant and see how things look down there. And we have full bright sunshine. Look at this. We just got on the turnpike here southbound here at Allentown, and we found some real sunshine. I don't know if it's going to last or not. There's some blue skies up there, but we found some real sunshine. So that's what I was hoping for all day. It just came a little bit later than I had hoped, but at least there's a little bit here for a brief moment. I think we're going to go back into the shade here pretty soon, but for a brief moment we got ourselves a little bit of sunshine. Alright, well, I would have liked to have been a little bit closer to this light for when it turns green, because then that would mean a little bit less traffic stacking up on Coffle Road, which is the road we're going to turn on. Now we're going to see what's going to happen here. If I have a clean shot, I'll back in off the street. If I don't, then I'm going to... and I'm not going to. I'm going to have to turn in there and hope I can pull off what we were talking about. Nosing up into the corner and then backing up along the building. This This one needs to pull up just a little bit further. Let's hope I can pull this off. This is what Lara, our other driver, was talking about with me. Hopefully I can pull this off. Let's come in here. Get real close to the trailer. Swing it over this way. And we're gonna work harder for it. We're gonna be wiggling around in here, but it might be easier than dealing with the traffic. I don't know, let's see. I'll put both windows down, take that grade gripper off. Let's hope that I can pull this off. Now watch the front of the vehicle there. Now watch these snowbanks. I'm not going to be able to jack it right into the spot, but I think I can do this. And all I might have to do is put the tractor out on the lot. Let's see what we can do here. Of course, somebody's walking. I've got a pedestrian. Let him walk. We've got two pedestrians now. Yeah. There's always something somewhere. But what I'm thinking of doing, if these guys get out of my way, and I can't see them, is getting up in here. And now maybe now I can do this. You got nothing coming right now. Ah, shoot. Shoot. Ah, come on. I was thinking, this guy's, come on, dude. We'd be hopping. I don't know, must have just been the way the road was crowned. I don't know why we were spinning like we were. A little less traffic being held up that way, though. Well, it works. I'd rather do it the other way, and when traffic is good enough, I will. But that works. Alright, we're in. Alright, so we pulled it off, and I know now that if traffic is heavy down here, I can get into this parking lot and do what I just did. Not pretty, but it works, and I don't tie up near as much traffic, and I don't have as much of a headache for myself either. Nose in here, get up into that corner, jack it hard, push it back up into the other part of the parking lot, and then take it out on the street if I have to after the fact. That worked out pretty well. So I still would prefer to back in off the street. It's easier and quicker if there's no traffic, but if there's traffic, then that way works. But I couldn't talk to you outside because there were people sitting over there by the smoker's shelter, so they would have wondered what I was doing, so I just came over here into the truck. So, but we're about getting ready to roll, and there's some traffic out there, so when we get a break, we'll get going, and we'll talk to you on the way back up. So, actually, I would have liked to have pushed the trailer back further into the parking lot and set myself up a little better, but it looked like I had a window of opportunity to get out onto the street and do what I needed to do before another line of traffic had come. So next time I might be a little more patient and push it all the way back up into that parking lot and give myself a little bit more room to swing to the right and come out. But I got a little hurried when I saw that break, and so that made it a little bit harder. And then I don't know why I was spinning. I think it had to do with the crown in the road, just the way I was sitting there, and the tires were wet from some of the moisture in the parking lot. But I was breaking traction there trying to back in, and but we did it. I mean, that's a learning curve. I had not ever tried doing it that way, so that was the first time. So of course there's a learning curve whenever you do something for the first time. So next time we'll do it better if we have to. We will, like I said, push it further back into that car parking lot, get as close to the building as I can, and minimize how much I have to go out into the street. There's a chance I may not really have to go out into the street at all. I mean, I don't know. It all depends. Like I said, learning curve. Next time I do it, I'll do it a little bit different and see if that works better. But either way, we pulled it off without sitting there waiting for traffic to clear and blocking up both streets and intersection behind us there at the light and everything else. So pulled it off, worked out pretty good for what it was. And now we're done. All we got to do is stop there on the turnpike at that Job Johnny and take care of some business, and then we're heading northbound. And this is our last load of the day, so we're just gonna fuel it up for our night shift partner and try to put some DEF in it for her, and then post-trip it, park it, and go home. Hopefully tomorrow's a little bit less stressful of a day. It wasn't as bad as what I thought it was gonna be, but on the outside looking in, I was a little bit nervous about what I was going to encounter down here. So, all right, jumping off here at the Allentown exit, and I'm going to tell you, I kind of underestimated or overestimated or whatever you want to say about how this day was going to go. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than it did. 5:11 p.m. and we are already up here at Allentown. Now we're not going to get home. We're not going to park the truck till 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30 till we fuel it. But I thought we were going to be pushing closer to my night shift partner's start time. So the day actually turned out much better than I thought it was gonna when I started out this morning. And I said I wasn't a fan of today's schedule, and it actually all worked out pretty good. We moved to Hazelton's pretty quick, even sitting and waiting a little bit to get loaded down there at the well in the woods when we had to wait on the other driver. That didn't really set us back too much. Learning that other drivers had tried what I had been thinking about for a while. I had been thinking about nosing into that parking lot and messing around like that on high traffic days, but I was scared to do it because I didn't want to get wedged in there somehow and either super struggle to get back out or not be able to get back out at all. So I never had the nerve to try it until I talked to the driver I was running with up there in Hazelton. And he said that he had done it and it worked. You know, he just had to wiggle around a little bit. But, so we tried it and pulled it off real nice. So now even the high traffic days aren't going to be as stressful for me as they were. I always got stressed out when I knew I was going to get down there after 3 o'clock. I mean, I still prefer to get down there around 1:30, but if I don't and I have to go down there later, it's nowhere near as stressful because now I know I can nose into that parking lot and do most of the work inside. So it definitely turned out to be a better day than I thought it was going to be this morning. All right, we're done. Post-tripped, fueled first, DEF, post trip, and actually washed the tractor. It was right hovering at 32 degrees, so I decided to get the pressure washer out and rinse this tractor off. I didn't wash it, but gave it a good rinse off, get the salt off it, so it looks a little bit better than what it did. So we're all done, and we're gonna go home, and boy, my fingertips, my fingers were numb. Even with the gloves, my fingers are numb, so they're starting to warm up now again, but we're done, and we're gonna head home, and we'll talk to you in the next one.